Hi everyone, Scale Model Assassin back again, and let's get all the laughs out of the way in the beginning. I've always got plenty of outtakes, so here are a few of my favorites. This ship started as a fully armed battleship, but as the Japanese lost aircraft carriers throughout the war, Midway, cough cough, they needed a quick solution for naval aircraft, so enter the idea of the hybrid battleship. Some of the guns were removed, a flight deck was added, a couple catapults. There's of course no room to land an aircraft, so it's a one-way trip, and you've got to find somewhere else to land your craft, if you're lucky. I start out with the superstructure, and begin cutting and slicing the outcroppings and beams on each level, so they can be replaced with parts from the 16 sheets of photo etch. I built the steel support structure off to the side before placing the combined pieces onto the plastic. I used a minuscule amount of thick super glue to hold them together until I could situate them in place. Once I attached them to the plastic, I used extra thin super glue to permanently set them. Some of these parts are already painted black because everything is so tight and enclosed in this little ship that it would be hard to reach with paint in the end. A lot of these parts are being held in place with medium thin super glue. Thin super glue dries too quickly, thick has more of a risk of pooling and being visible in the end. The flight deck came as 3 separate pieces which had to be stacked and glued together. You'll need some clamps and a lot of glue for this. There's a beam support structure on the underside. Each beam has various grooves cut out along certain intervals, so you interlink them together. I'm scraping off the molded anchor chain and drilling out holes to add a real chain. This is actually a really easy upgrade to make. Certain photo etch pieces can be bent by hand, but this is not one of them. This structure had numerous scored lines upon which to bend, and was still challenging even with the bender. It's also a good example of how you can use all sides of the bender to your advantage, not just the front set of teeth. It's actually a very valuable tool, and well worth the money I spent on it, assuming that it's going to last for decades. I built this part upside down, to take advantage of gravity, obviously. And then I rotated the video footage 180 degrees, so don't be fooled by my Jedi video editing skills. I wanted to add some additional wrinkles and improve the look of the blast bags, so I used acrylic putty for this. It's easy to remove with water, and generally overall easier to work with than lacquer putty. It was a mistake to attach the guns this early. I broke a few barrels, and they're annoying and fragile to work around when you add the panel line wash. Wait until later in the build before adding these on. I wasn't paying attention and didn't realize the flight deck had to be a different color than the surrounding area. So I got to loosely mask over my fragile guns and ammo boxes. Not an ideal situation, but it can be done, and should have been done before I added all the extra accessories. These wooden deck stickers are awesome, and it even came with some for the lifeboats. I do add a little extra weathering when I do the panel line wash. It soaks into the sticker, but you can still spread it around and thin it out to give the deck a more weathered and less uniform look. Aside from the 2 pontoon aircraft that come with the kit, these are aftermarket planes from Tamiya, which are still really basic looking and not that realistic. They didn't even come with propellers. Fortunately, I found a photo etch set from Pit Road to upgrade them, and each one of these planes has about 6 photo etch parts added onto it. The rigging thread is a little stretchy, and I'm using a hypodermic needle to apply the glue. Before I cut off the excess, I stretch it out a bit and use the smallest, most precise scissors I have to cut it off. Once all the rigging is complete, I paint it with acrylic paint to help cover the shiny spots at the joints from the super glue. And there you have it, a bunch of planes stacked on top of a battleship. Close to 6 months of work, on and off. I built, or at least started to build, 1 or 2 planes in the middle of this. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.